but it's more difficult to go the other way and say there is a bigger mind that we could call the hierarchies of heaven, the angels and archangels and the saints and so forth, because we do not have, well, at least we think right now, we do not have a direct physical correlate of that. Of course, there are people who would deny that. You talk about Dante. Dante would deny that because he talked about the love that moves the sun and the other stars. In other words, maybe the stars are the empirical physical expressions of some higher level form of mentation that also is circumscribed by some form of dissociative boundary and has an individual identity. Perhaps, but in the early 21st century, it's very difficult to go down these avenues of speculation, because how do you differentiate that from the aliens from the Pleiades sending us heart vibrations? See what I mean?
Well, I think it's not that hard to differentiate, in the sense that these intelligences. So a good example would be, right, Jung did something similar where he said, so the star, it's not that the stars are legislating our experience, is that we project meaning into this infinite tapestry of possibility. And now that pattern has a certain form of reality because it corresponds to our psyche and to our psychic projection. And so it's like you could say that there are no patterns in the stars because there's millions and millions of them, and the patterns we trace are just projections of our psyche. But there might be a way in which, if the pattern of our psyche is the laboratory of how reality comes together, and it's hard to avoid that because we are the people looking at the world, then those patterns can also have causal effect.
I'll be more open.
It's not the big ball of gas that's, when we say, so it's not the big ball of gas, but it's the pattern of the heaven, which is causally affecting the world through, if you want to see it as through the projection of the human psyche into that of objective patterns that have developed from millennia, it doesn't matter, but it can still have a causal effect.
I don't reject this at all. Recent studies are showing again and again that the universe at its largest scales, which we can simulate, we can't image it because we are within it, but we can compute it. And the structure of the universe, the network structure and topology of the universe at its largest scales is mind-bogglingly similar to the structure of organic nervous systems. And there is no known reason why this should be the case. To call it a cosmic coincidence would be the understatement of history, of all history, because the correspondence is rather precise.